Can I be honest? I feel like I'm already behind.
Behind on what?
All of this. AI. Everyone's been using it for years. I'm just now figuring out the loop.
It's been 2 years. And most of those people are in deference.
You're not late, Stephen. You're early. Most people haven't even started.
That can't be right. Everyone's talking about it.
Talking about it. Not doing what we've been describing. The AI collaboration method.
Episode 5 Before the Frameworks, the Early Window.
The public conversation about AI is loud. Constant. Everywhere you look.
And it's almost entirely about the wrong thing.
AI is dangerous. AI is revolutionary. AI will take your job. AI will save the world.
Pick a side. Argue. Repeat. Meanwhile, the actual thing is happening somewhere else.
The skill nobody named. The loop nobody's teaching. The split nobody sees.
People are diverging right now. 2 trajectories. And the conversation doesn't mention it.
So all the AI discourse I've been drowning in.
Noise. Most of it. Arguments about the future while the present slips past.
The people doing the interesting work aren't arguing. They're too busy finding the loop.
And they're not posting about it. Because it's hard to explain. It's easier to just do.
Which means the signal is quiet. Hidden. You have to know where to look.
And that's why I thought I was behind. Because I was listening to the noise.
Now you're listening to the signal. And the signal says, the window is open.
Let's talk about what the window actually is. Because it's not what people assume.
When people hear early adopter window, they think technology. New tools. New features.
This isn't that. The tools will keep changing. That's not the window.
The window is about how you learn to work with them. Before that gets locked down.
Here's what's coming. And it's coming fast.
Right now, open exploration. You can find the loop your way. Build intuition through practice.
Soon, frameworks forming. Someone's writing the official methodology. The certification programs.
Later, best practices locked. Here's how you do it. Here's the credential that proves you can.
And once that happens, exploration closes. You follow the method instead of finding your own.
But isn't that good? Best practices? Knowing the right way?
For some things. But best practices get written by committees. Averaging across everyone.
Remember, the AI is already tuned for majority. Add official best practices on top of that.
And you get a very polished, very average way of working. For everyone. Forever.
The people who find their loop now, before the frameworks, they get something different.
A way of working that's actually theirs. Calibrated to how they think. Not how everyone thinks.
And that compounds. Personal intuition beats generic method. Every time.
So the window isn't about being first to use AI.
It's about being first to find your own way. Before someone hands you theirs.
And here's the real question. Who actually has the advantage right now?
Because it's not who you'd expect.
Let me guess. The engineers with decades of.
Sometimes. And sometimes the exact opposite.
There are 2 kinds of people who pick this up fast. And they look nothing alike.
The first, people who've spent years developing judgment. In any domain.
Writers. Designers. Editors. Teachers. Anyone who's learned what quality feels like in their field.
They've calibrated over years. They know when something lands. They trust that knowing.
For them, the loop is just applying old judgment to new material. The skill transfers.
Okay. That makes sense. Experience helps. What's the second kind?
People who haven't been trained yet.
Who still trust their instincts? Who haven't learned to override what they feel?
No one's told them to ignore their felt sense. So they haven't learned to dismiss it.
Vision and imagination. Unfiltered. Sometimes that adapts faster than years of calibration.
They haven't learned it's supposed to be hard. So for them, it isn't.
Wait. So experience helps. But so does not having experience?
Not exactly. It's not about experience. It's about what you trust.
Seasoned practitioners trust their judgment because they've tested it. Over years. It works.
Fresh intuitives trust their judgment because they haven't learned not to. No one broke it yet.
Either way, the advantage is the same. Trusting your recognition. However you got there.
The people who struggle? The ones caught in the middle.
Some experience. But not enough to trust it. Trained to doubt themselves. Not trained to know better.
They've absorbed enough expertise to feel inadequate. Not enough to feel confident.
They defer. Because they think someone else knows better. The AI. The experts. Anyone but them.
That sounds like me. 3 months ago.
And now you're learning to trust your recognition. That's the shift. That's what matters.
So let's talk about the actual bar. What you actually need to do this.
I assume it's technical. Understanding models. Prompt engineering. That stuff.
That's what everyone assumes. It's wrong.
The bar isn't technical knowledge. We've been saying this the whole series.
The bar is 3 things. And you probably already have at least 2.
First, taste. Or the willingness to develop it. A sense for when something lands.
You don't need perfect taste. You need honest taste. Trusting your actual reactions.
Second, determination. Willingness to stay in the loop. Keep steering. Not give up after one turn.
The loop takes turns. Sometimes many turns. The people who find it are the ones who keep going.
Third, something you actually want to make. A project. A question. Something that matters to you.
Not a practice exercise. Not a tutorial prompt. Something real you're trying to do.
That's a lower bar than I expected.
Lower to start. The compounding happens after.
That's the beautiful part. You don't need credentials to begin. You need them even less to continue.
Because once you're in the loop teaches you. Every turn builds the next turn.
Your taste sharpens. Your recognition gets faster. Your steering gets more precise.
Not because someone taught you. Because you're practicing. With something that matters.
That's why the window matters. Right now, you can learn by doing. No prerequisites.
And later, when the frameworks come,
Then there will be prerequisites. Courses. Certifications. The official path.
But the people who already found their loop? They're not taking those courses. They're teaching them.
That's the early window advantage. You get to be ahead. Not by rushing. By starting.
So here's where we are. We've named the split. We've shown the loop. We've talked about the window.
Deference versus engagement. Recognition judgment. The trance. The loop. The timing.
You have the language now. You can see the pattern. The question is what you do next.
I want to try it. Actually try it. Not just understand it.
That's the only way it becomes real. In the doing.
And here's what we've learned. The doing goes better with other people.
Not because you need permission. You don't. But because recognition sharpens faster when it's shared.
You see someone else's loop. It illuminates your own. You watch them steer. You learn to steer better.
And you realize you're not the only one figuring this out. That helps more than you'd expect.
So we're extending an invitation. Come see how this works in practice.
Not a course. Not a certification. Just people finding the loop together.
Seasoned practitioners and fresh intuitives. Both paths. Same room. Learning from each other.
Real projects. Actual work. Not simulations. The stakes make the learning stick.
So I could actually show up? With my half-formed project?
Half-formed is perfect. Remember, you start with a fragment. That's the whole point.
We're not asking you to arrive ready. We're asking you to arrive willing.
Willing to try the loop. Willing to trust your recognition. Willing to stay when it gets uncomfortable.
That's enough. That's more than most people bring.
The window is open. Right now. This moment. Before the frameworks. Before the certifications.
And you're not behind. You're exactly on time. If you're hearing this, you're on time.
Come find the loop with us. Come see what your recognition can do.
The AI collaboration method. What changes when you stop prompting?